And speaking of somebody who should have some shame and probably lose some weight, Christie is chiming in on why RFK Jr. should be fired.
I mean, let's face it. You looked at that appearance before Congress, and it just confirms what all of us around this table have known for decades. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a foolish man.
Oh, my God.
Full of foolish and vapid ideas.
Put the hamburger down.
And that was on display again this week in front of Congress. And I really don't want to hear about Bill Cassidy, because he is a co-conspirator with the President of the United States for putting this wholly unqualified man in charge of 25% of all government spending. Without Cassidy's vote, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would not be it. And maybe he's feeling some guilt from what he did. But I'll tell you this, the President did this. He knows. The President's smart enough to know RFK Jr. doesn't belong in that job. But after he won, he wanted to show everybody, I can do whatever I want to do because this Senate will be compliant no matter what I do. And I'll put the greatest vaccine and public health denier of the last 20 years in charge of public health in America. It's a human middle finger, George, to everybody who opposed him.
Christie should probably be more worried about his HDL levels than whatever RFK Jr. is saying. But his attack actually reveals something deeper about how politics works in America. The fact that Christie is going after RFK Jr. tells you everything about how former politicians, establishment figures, and media like ABC News line up to protect their own, to defend a system that feeds them. Because the greatest moment of the entire hearing was RFK Jr. calling out senators who are blatantly in the pockets of Big Pharma, like Elizabeth Warren, who has pulled in nearly $1 million in campaign cash from the pharmaceutical industry, and she's hardly alone. There's also Bernie Sanders, and I could go down a list, but this is the real scandal, folks. People who posture as defenders of public health while cashing checks from the very companies they're supposed to regulate. Christie sneering doesn't challenge RFK Jr.'s arguments. It shields the corruption of a ruling class that's turned medicine into a marketplace and policy into a pay-to-play racket. This isn't just about RFK Jr. or Christie's cheap insults. It's about a political system where Democrats especially rake in pharma money and then pretend to be shocked when Americans don't trust them. Why would anybody stand for that? And also, put down the cheeseburger.